customer rolled in saying that he has a loud sound coming from the engine. And this customer came in with his truck saying that the brakes were making a munching sound, and when the mechanic pulled the wheel, he found that someone had been pretty creative with the brake pads. This customer's oil pan had transformed itself into a bowl of metal stew. This customer's Honda was in because the owner said that he wants it fully reconditioned. The mechanic told the customer that he wasn't sure if that was even possible anymore. And sometimes the oil changes, they come with a little taste test. The owner of this car rolled in saying that the engine had started to run real bad after he had it in at a different shop to get a new timing belt installed. The mechanic pulled the timing belt cover and found the belt so loose he could move it with just 2 fingers. Customer states, "My flux capacitor and time circuit GPS system needs maintenance." Customer came in saying that his truck has been unstartable for the past 10 years and said that he had no clue as to why. The owner of this car came in completely convinced that the strange sounds he kept hearing was just due to some weather changes. And this guy had his little brother help him fix the drivetrain a few weeks ago, but had to roll in as the car now has a really bad clunka-dunka sound that was getting worse by the day. And this car rolled in because the customer thought he might need a new set of tires. Nice. The owner of this car rolled in saying that he always ends up in the town next doors instead of the town he needs to be in and wanted to know why. This Chevy Colorado had to come in because the owner said, "My windshield is always greasy." The mechanic discovered that they had put sunflower oil instead of washer fluid in the washer fluid tank. Customer came in saying, "The damn kid next door thinks he's Tiger Woods, always has to practice whenever I'm working on the car." And this customer came in saying they've noticed that their steering has started to feel kind of sticky in certain spots, like something's catching. I wonder what it might be. Customer states, "Whenever I go to pass someone on the highway, I get this strange thump sound." And this customer had replaced his own head gasket, but had to come in because he now had quite the blow-by and the engine ran pretty hot. Woo! This is how you know a turbo has decided it's done with this world and everything in it. This customer came in asking if their truck is supposed to sound like this. Gotta love that wah-wah, wet-ass water pump. This customer had recently paid his uncle to fix a coolant leak and came in saying it hadn't leaked as bad since. The mechanic popped the hood and found the hose like this. And this truck had some of the best knock-knock jokes the mechanics had ever heard. This car was in because the rear brakes were stuck after the customer had it sit on their driveway for a few years with the parking brake engaged. This mechanic had a pretty rough day when he got underneath this one and found that the car had apparently decided to start sharing its oil with the entire garage floor. This customer came in saying that they keep getting a strange sound during idle. If you have any idea what could be causing it, let us know in the comments below. And this car was in for some new seats after it had apparently been sitting in a goat barn for a few months when a couple of goats had gotten into the car and snacked on the interior. And this older gentleman rolled in saying that his car wants him to go faster and faster, just like his wife back in the days, but said that he needs to slow down because he's getting old now. This customer rolled in complaining about a misfire and that his car is barely running during idle. This customer came in with their Jeep complaining about a noise when driving, and this is what the mechanics found. And this Nissan apparently doesn't need a driver anymore. An undercover automatic. Customer came in saying, "My wipers act like two younger siblings. Please advise." And this is exactly what happens when your head gasket decides it's had enough. Living in America. And the owner of this car had installed sporty air suspension by himself, but still complained about clunking sounds when driving. This Nissan Rogue came in for a new stereo unit, and when the mechanic pulled the old one out, he discovered that it had turned itself into Uncle Scrooge's money bin. Customer states, "My car sounds like a purring cat whenever I put it in drive." And this is eventually what happens when you don't slow down before them speed bumps. And this customer had just replaced the ball joints at a different shop, but had to come in because of a clunking sound. This customer came in saying that their turbo sounds like and wanted it checked out. This customer came in saying that their car is clunking more than normal after their friend had borrowed it over the weekend. The owner of this Harley Davidson trike complained about the clutch feeling strange and wanted it looked at. And this customer came in saying that their car has started to sound like a lawnmower. Turns out that the throwout bearing needed replacement. As good as new! When you're just that determined to get every last mile out of your old tires. And this almost brand new SUV came in because it already had a broken suspension link after the customer had just picked it up from the dealership 5 days prior. This car had just been in for some suspension work at a different shop, but had to come in because of a clunking sound. This guy had been out with his all-wheel drive car on a little hiking trip, but got stuck in a deep mud puddle and had to come into the shop on a tow truck because one of the diffs had seized. Customer states, "Every time I use the turn signals, the rear view camera turns itself on." The owner of this car came in saying that his car gets way too excited when he fills it up. This car had a pretty strong opinion about its own condition and was not shy about sharing it. And this car came in sounding like this. This customer was in for an oil change but never mentioned anything about the state of the tires. Sparky Sparky. And this customer came in complaining about their car making strange sounds whenever they put it in reverse. This car came in because it had quite the leak. And the owner of this 2020 Jeep Cherokee came in saying, "Was driving through a shallow river, but ever since, I keep having this strange noise." Customer states, "Gas door thinks it's a flying squirrel." Customer states, "Car sounds like a washing machine with rocks in it. Please advise." The owner of this car had apparently been hearing a loud clunking sound for a few weeks before things took a more dramatic turn. The mechanic got underneath it and found the drive shaft looking like this. The owner of this car rolled in because they said that it shifted really poorly. Once the mechanic opened up the transmission, he found all this plastic debris floating around in there. And sometimes, you just gotta make do with what you have. This is how you know a customer has been to a shop that should not be allowed to be in business. Tell me you're a dog owner without telling me you're a dog owner. And this is exactly why you should change your oil regularly.